talkSPORT.
Well, that was Andy Jacobs clearing his throat for the only time in the next 3 hours.
It won't be. It so won't be. I didn't even think that was a throat clearing. That was even a minor one. I've still got quite a big throat.
Oh, really? Do you want to fully grolly it out now?
No, I don't think I do.
It's still on Jim's watch. It's fine. It's not yours.
I don't want to do it on Jim's watch.
The talkSPORT Clips of the Week.
Yeah, Clips of the Week time, and we start with Dean Saunders and Laura Woods.
Andy Townsend taught me how to play the guitar on the back of the bus.
Hey, you could transfer those skills to a ukulele as well.
No, that's completely different. That's your mouth.
What's wrong with
That's
ukulele?
the trouble. Dean's been blowing into his ukulele.
You won't get much of a tune out of that.
That's the Woody Allen reference. Go and check it out.
And we do get very knowledgeable callers here on talkSPORT.
We do.
There was a lot of players that underperformed. I mean, that guy that plays for Dortmund or Bayern Munich, Sancho or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Thank you very much, caller. Made him feel special.
Yeah, brilliant.
Staying with experts, here's Sun Sports writer Duncan Wright on the Weekend Breakfast.
The four boffins behind Liverpool's success, and they've got a team of boffins led by a chap called Ian Graham, who's got a PhD in physics, and another physician from America who was actually key in the research into the Higgs boson cracking proton cracking thing in Switzerland.
There's a lot of cracking going on.
It's a good job he's not the science editor, I'd say.
That's right. Proton cracking, head cracking. Very good. What's next?
It's me. It's talkSPORT's cultural attaché, the Moose.
Art galleries. Art galleries are not really for me. I did try that, actually, in 2016 at the Euros. I went to the loo.
I think you've been to the loo since then, the amount you eat, Moose, let's be honest.
The loo.
This is a Derby fan calling the station ahead of the playoffs.
It's a good day out. Yes, obviously, I want to get promoted. I want to get Premier League. Obviously, that's the golden blanket, whatever they call it.
It is the golden blanket, isn't it?
What's
we all
blanket?
just that chance of the coveted golden blanket when you get into the Premier League.
Now, sports news reader John Howick with tennis news regarding Germany's Jan-Lennard Struff.
Novak Djokovic has breezed through to the quarter-finals of the French Open. He beat Germany's Jan-Lennard Struff in straight sets.
Jan-Lennard Struff.
Germany.
Yeah, from Germany. That's right, yeah. Staying with sports news readers, here's Joe Shannon.
Sri Lanka have started well in their World Cup clash with Afghanistan in Cardiff.
Cardiff. Boris Cardiff.
And this is Mike Parry with a classic football quote.
And then they won the cup. And then they won the Champions League. That famous quote from Sir Alex Ferguson: "Football, bloody hell."
Sounds like he's from Cardiff, doesn't it? Sounds very Scottish.
Not at all. Alan Brazil now introducing his co-presenters.
Welcome to the Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast. Former Chelsea striker Tony Cascarino, ex-Villa, Ipswich Town and Bent, Tottenham, of course, ArnoldClark.com.
He's my favourite player. I had my name on the back of his shirt, ArnoldClark.com.
You had the wall poster of him.
I did. I had the poster. I used to love ArnoldClark.com. It was actually the days before the internet, so it was quite an odd name at the time. Little did we know he was a pioneer of technology. Is it me? It is, isn't it? I think this is Neil Manthorpe reporting on the Cricket World Cup.
Sometimes an overcautious approach can backfire. Shikhar Dhawan was out earlier, also caught by de Kock.
You ever been caught by the cock when you've played?
No, I normally wear a box.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that. I meant the South African cricketer.
I'm sorry.
Don't drag us down. We don't think he knew what he said there, old Neil, but I think he did this time.
They've got to keep up with the run rate. They've got to score a run a ball throughout the innings, I think, and then just a little bit of acceleration rather than a big explosion at the back end. So it's...
yeah, he realised what he'd said that time, yeah.
It's
cricket, it's like fishing. It's just full of innuendo, isn't it?
And staying with the Cricket World Cup, this is Guy Swindles.
Matt Henry leading the way with 3 for 29 from his 7 overs, with only... Karaturana, I'll get his name right one of these days. Karan, I'm going to stop there and just say he was unbeaten on 50, the Sri Lankan skipper.
Good work, Guy. I wonder how John Howitt would pronounce that.
Karunaratne.
Oh, yes. He's perfect now. He's fine at Karunaratne. It's just the German names he struggles with. German is Jan-Lennard Struff.
It's time now for the talkSPORT Caller of the Week to Extra Time.
Steve There's a Bury fan who got in touch with us. Steve, a club, first of all, thank you so much for your call. A club who you support who have had their own financial difficulties over recent years.
Yeah, well...
Morning.
Really, all the trouble... Hello? Hello?
Talk Sport, caller of the week.
And staying with Will Gavin on Extra Time, isn't it great when you get crashed by a trail and it still almost works?
John Krieger joining us to look at sport. From the other side of the pond, you're listening to Talk Sport.
It's like he's joined a death metal band, isn't it? Possessed by the devil. So what's next?
It's Goffey auditioning for Springwatch.
Peacocks we are used to seeing, well, in UK, and the ones we are used to seeing here, have got the blue bodies, and blue and green plumage are from the Indian subspecies. On the plumage, it is only the male that has it.
Call for John Howick again.
It's plumage, Goffey.
It's
plumage.
Plumage.
Of course it is. Not plumage.
Of course it is, John. It's plumage.
And this is Cass on Weekend Breakfast.
Georgie, I always worry about sportsmen that sometimes, I say, take their eye off their balls.
Well,
dirty boy.
Fair enough.
What's next, Andy?
It's Dean Saunders on a similar note.
They'd rather not train and just keep playing games, and you lose your... What's that saying? There's a saying, you never lose your eye for a gull, but you lose the eye of the tiger.
I don't remember my old nan doing that one.
Never heard that one.
Never heard that one before.
No.
And one of the TalkSport presenters has clearly made a massive impression on this caller to the sports bar.
Remind us who you look like, Ron.
A little bit like Jim, what's his name, on Sky Sports.
It's transfer deadline day. It's me, Jim Wasname. Join me, Jim Wasname.
Right.
Make him feel special, mate. Why don't you?
Why not? Anyway, let's cross now to Robot John Norman.
Watching for TalkSport, John Norman.
Well, we just about to get the toss here at the Oval.
We'll move on now to Android McKenna at Bristol.
Yep.
So, finally, and it's Fisherman's Blues, Nigel Botherway, who appeared to be imitating his guest.
I hope I've got your enthusiasm at your age, and keep loving your fishing and keep doing what you're doing best. Pleasure to speak to you, buddy.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Cheers.
He did, didn't he? Did he do it?
Cheers.
Cheers.
He did a little bit, didn't he? Couldn't help it. He just got sucked in and did an impersonation of him. Anyway, we should say, blimey, we've gone double barrel the thank yous today.
Well, fair enough.
There's your demographic. Robert Llewellyn Leach.
Marvellous.
Thank you, Robert, for suggesting a clip that was played. Sam Stevens, Robbie Dwyer, Zoggy the Gooner, Ozzy, Jim Shelley, Spurs Diver, Carl Parkin, Christopher Walker, Stephen Harris, Roger in Durham, Mickey Tix, Ruthless, DCW, Mysterio in Woodford, and Alan Sherrard. Thank you very much for everybody suggested clips that were played. If you hear a clip on TalkSport over the next 7 days, please send it in to us.
The trouble is, I'd only seen the top of the shirt. Now I've seen all of it, and it's such a Nike shirt. Why can't they just go? If you're going to go that route, if you're going to go the Croatia route,
explain what
they've done a band round it, then another band of colour, then some stripes, and then some odd cubes placed in a sort of random way. It's very strange design. I mean, I don't know. I don't see
I'm looking at the front of it here, a picture of it, and it looks fairly... Is it on the back that they've got quite elaborate? Is that what the shirt you've got there?
That's not the same one,
That's
is it?
not the same shirt, no, Andy.
No, I think what Andy's got there is like they did like a sort of celebratory one-off sort of training wear one with that.
No, the one I've got in front of me is, I think you couldn't describe it better. It's Croatia, but in Barcelona colours, Neil, effectively, isn't it?